that's not reunited.
We were expecting another song.
No, I think I was expecting this song.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are family. We're back together, except for Henry, who's like living his best life right now.
Back together meaning on the same set.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something.
And
Yes.
I can read your mind. You feel as though your personal space is being
I do a
invaded.
little bit. I just sat down. I'm like, ooh, this is close.
Right. So, as COVID protocols loosen, you know, as we all go back to some semblance of normalcy, this is the first time that we've been together, especially you, Ginger, because there was a period where we came back together, but Henry and you were still like, you know, relegated, if you will,
to other areas.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the thing is that too, there's a lot of things that you miss. You know, certain discussions about life happening, that kind of stuff. You know, like I see there's a knee brace here. You know, just all that stuff. That
He'll get you caught up.
No, I love it. I want to know every little bit.
You ice my knee every morning of the day.
Everything.
The knee replacement. But anyway, it's just so good to be back. And this is the interesting part. Now that we are back together, does Ginger start now that she's here at the desk, producer Amanda, or do we still go to Henry/Kirk?
Oh, we go to Kirk.
All right,
this
just
is
checking.
Just back. Is it
all
just
right,
the
I
usual?
don't know. I'm trying to get the flow.
There's a lot happening here. And we've got a lot happening in the weather department as well. We've got strong winds. That's probably the big story of the day when we talk about your forecast. We're talking about strong wind gusts in many locations. Speaking of the zone forecast, let's talk about just the temperatures that we're expecting. Those gusty winds are the biggest part of the forecast. Breezy along the coast, maybe a little bit windier downtown LA. Temperatures in the 70s with that wind advisory in the San Fernando Valley until this afternoon. Orange County inland areas should see a high of 76, 73 in the Inland Empire, and the high desert 66.
Now we hear every little thing.
Every tiny little thing. And Ginger, I was looking at the National Weather Service is like itemizing all of the freeways that could see some impacts from this.
Oh, I like
that.
that.
So we can talk about that all morning long.
Let's make sure they get them all right. I saw another place put it as the 143. It's a 134, right? All right, so we have a few things that we need to talk about at this hour as well. You know, the 60 freeway is interesting because I know there was a SIG alert earlier this morning. They canceled it, but now we have something brand new, 60. So it's the eastbound side right here, just past Hacienda Boulevard, where a car lost control, it overturned, and all lanes were stopped for a while, but now they were able to release some of those lanes, and a couple of those right ones still closed. You see it, a tiny slowdown there. Do you have to worry about it too much? Nah, you should be okay, but we'll watch to see what develops. Orange County, the biggest thing for you would obviously be all that construction, and we know it's happening. They're really good about the signs and letting you know what's happening. You see a tiny slowdown there, and of course normally that's that stretch of the 405 that's been occupied with all that road work. We'll keep our eyes on all these things, you guys. I'll send it back to you.
Ginger, thank you. Breaking news in China. 9 million people living in northeastern China have been put on lockdown because of a new COVID outbreak. It's happening in the industrial center of Changchun. That's about 600 miles northeast of Beijing. More than 1,000 new locally transmitted cases were reported yesterday. It's the country's highest daily total since COVID emerged in Wuhan back in 2020. Health officials say the current outbreak has spread to several dozen cities in 20 provinces.
Now to the latest in the war in Ukraine. Vice President Harris in Romania this morning for meetings with that country's president. This is a welcome ceremony happening right now in Bucharest, Romania. Romania has taken in numerous Ukrainian refugees. The Ukrainian government says Russian forces have launched new attacks in the west and in the east, those sections of Ukraine. An unknown number of fatalities currently being reported. Other developments we're following this morning. The U.S. Senate passed a government funding bill yesterday with more than $13 billion in Ukrainian aid. It will be sent to President